Now, the other part of a profile are the rules associated with it. I'm going to go ahead and make this window nice and big now. All right. Now, the list of rules on the left-hand side are rules that are not currently in your profile. Rules on the right-hand side are the rules that are in your profile. There's 3 types of rules in a profile: apply authored style, find and replace text, create topic and document. These are 3 decision points that the import process will make for you using these rules. Let's take a look at an apply author style rule first. Alright, let's go ahead and open up the bullet list rule. Alright, so we have a rule that says whenever you encounter any bullet style in the document that's being imported, map that bullet style to this author style. And in this case, we had list bullets selected here. All right, so if I'm importing a document and it's got bullets in it, author is going to find this rule and say, what author style do I need to map to this? List bullet style. So any bullets that come in during the import process will be automatically assigned the list bullet style. All right, let's go ahead and create a new rule for style mapping. I'll select new rule, rule type, apply authored style. Let me call this my table text rule. Alright, now my style mapping folder. Let's say that in my document, I know that I have a style that I use called table text. Now I can either put in the words table text here, or I can click on additional formatting and describe to author it the type of formatting that is applied to the table text style. Now you'd want to go this route of describing the formatting if you've got a document that doesn't use styles inside of it. Let's say it's a document that doesn't have a style sheet associated with it. Maybe it's a Word document that was using normal ... and the styles are just all over the place. Where in this case, the table text was Arial 12-point bold, for example. So if author it encounters any formatting in your document that has Arial 12-point bold assigned to it, then it is going to assign whichever style we have listed here. Alright, so in this case, I would want to map table text to a style called table text. Alright, so author it will look for either or. It'll look for this name, or it'll look for this formatting here. And when it finds either one of these conditions, it will then assign this author it style to it. Alright, so someone put in the question box, if your Word document wasn't created using styles, are you in trouble? Well, not necessarily. You're just going to need to create a rule for each one of those scenarios of formatting inside of your document, and you're basically going to have to resort to the additional formatting option and describe the formatting and then associate it with an author style. Because you can't get away with just manual random formatting and author it. You always have to format using styles inside of author it, because that's one way we enforce consistency. So you're not necessarily in trouble. It just may take you longer to clean up that content or to set up your profiles. Alright, so we've got our style mapping rules here. One thing to note, the order of these rules does matter. Notice how you have a move up or down button here. Alright, so you may want to check the order of your rules to make sure that they make sense to you. A good example of that is, let's say that you've got text where it has bold and underline formatting on it. And let's say that you have a rule for bold, a rule for underline, and a rule for bold underlined. Well, you'd want your rule for bold underline to come first because technically the bold rule would apply and the underline rule would apply in that scenario as well. So a good rule of thumb is if you have rules for styles that have a lot of formatting associated with them, put the rules that have the most formatting up front. So your bold underlined, your bold italic underline styles would come first, and then they would be followed by your bold style, your underline style, and your italic style rules. All right, this way when AuthorIt finds that content that's coming in, it is applying the correct rules. All right, now our second type of style, or rule, is our find and replace text rule. Now let's say when you start using AuthorIt, you plan on using variables. And let's say you want to use the product variable as an example. All right, so when you have content coming into AuthorIt to be imported, you want to find all of the instances of your product name and then replace it with your product name variable. So let's take a look at creating one of those rules. Let's say I'm going to import my X5000 user guide here, and that's the product name that I am looking for. So this is a find and replace rule. So let's go to find and replace, and we'll tell AuthorIt what we're looking for. I'm looking for any text that is X5000. I can also associate that with some additional formatting. If I like to, I can also choose whether to match case and match whole word as well. Now, what do I want to replace it with? I want to replace it with my product variable, and I can also assign a particular style to that variable as it's being imported as well. Alright, so this rule is going to find all instances of my product name, X5000, and replace it with my product variable during the import process. Alright, so if you have multiple product names, then you will want one find and replace rule for each one of those product names. Alright, now last but not least, we have our create topic in document rules. These rules tell AuthorIt when should I create a new topic object. Generally, AuthorIt is going to create a new topic object whenever it encounters a heading style inside of your document. So by default, your profiles are all going to come with a rule that says when you find a heading 1 style, assign this template and create a topic object. When you find a heading 2 style, create the topic and assign this template, and so on. All right, let's go to the heading 1 rule here. Take a closer look. In the topic creation area, what we've done is said if any of the following is true, where you've got a style called head 1, heading 1, heading 1 with a space. Let's say that we have a style that is named H1. Alright, so we've used H1 as the name of our heading 1 style. Then what we would do next is say, well, what level should that topic be created in your book? And then what template should that topic be based on? Alright, so you can go through for each level of headings inside of your document and update these rules if you need to. So if you don't see the name of your style in the list here, then you can create the new rule. Paragraph style equals to, let's say that you named it Acme H2. All right, then author, it would look for Acme H2. It would assign that topic object at a level 2 inside of your book, and it's going to base it on the topic template. All right, so here's your 3 types of rules. Author is going to look for conditions that match these rules during the importing process, and then apply the rule to that content.